In life, we can misunderstand those moments in life where God is calling us away, where He's drawing us away to spend more time with Him, to for Him to share Himself with us. But we can get so caught up in life that we mistake those moments for loneliness or for being a loner. God did not create you to be a loner. Hey guys, welcome back to Next Gen for Christ. If it's your first time logging on to this channel, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button or even hit that like button or even the share button. But I must apologize for not posting anything last week. The most strangest thing happened while I was going to post it. Is like I didn't feel comfortable posting it because it's it's like God. I'm sorry. It's like God wasn't there. Even though the video was about Him, it's like he wasn't His time. It wasn't time to post a video with that content. So my apologies again. Loneliness is not always a bad thing. Sometimes God will allow you to feel lonely just so that you can come back to Him. When you feel burdensome inside with the things of this world, He's just calling you back to Himself for you to just empty it out on Him. Before we learn about some of the things that cause persons to feel lonely or to feel like they are alone. And often, most times, that's basically almost everybody. I knew that was me in that stage of my life where I was just basically isolated from everybody, both mentally, spiritually, and also emotionally. It was like if there was people in my life who cared for me, and I knew to my heart that they loved me, but I couldn't felt it because I had all these things built up against them and against God. And I misunderstood that season of my life, thinking that it was God's season, God's intent for me to feel like a loner. But it was actually that very same season that when I changed my vision, I began to understand what He was saying. I said all that to say, don't underestimate or don't misunderstand this season or your loner season that you went through or that may be coming up, because the truth is everybody is going to go through that season in life. Whether if you're single, you're married, you're in a relationship, it doesn't matter. We all are going to go through that season. And He took that season when my vision changed. It was just mind blowing when I understand that He was using that season to call me back to Himself, to draw me back to Him. Because it wasn't until that I felt so lonely and bored in some, I felt like if it was me against the wall, literally. And when I got that feeling, and that was when it was just so, everything just was just heavy. It's like back then I was more muscular and stuff, but honestly, my muscles couldn't carry that weight. It was impossible. So it doesn't matter how strong you be. When those feelings come, your muscles are going to fail you. That's the honest truth. And it was in that very season that God drew me back to Himself. It was when I went to Him and I broke down in tears. I broke down because I misunderstood what He was saying to me. He was calling me back to Himself in that season of loneliness. He just wanted me. While I was trying to mix with the crowd and trying to get there and try to fit in, He was just calling me to Himself, to share Himself with me. So my question to you now, let's take a break. My question to you now is, are you misunderstanding the season of loneliness for your life, for something else, while God is calling you back to Himself to spend more time with you? That's the question. Honestly, there are some journeys in life you have to take just you and God. Me and God. We can't expect to go on a journey with God where He's calling Himself where he called him us back to himself and want to carry Susie down the road, Mike up the hill, Peter over the road, Jackson or Michael down my gap down the so. We can't do that because he's not calling you to go with them and him. It's just you and him. So these are some pointers or some things that happened to me when I was going through my alone time with God. The season of my life where he was drawing me back to himself. That I think and I know it worked for you. One, my spiritual life started to grow. So growth. Two, I started to develop a sense of intimacy with him. Started to hear his voice more and know what he wants from me. Three, trust, the very same thing that we learned with before that loners do not do because of what they went through. And four, they tend to love because God himself is love. So when you draw closer to him, he begins to give you love, not only for yourself, but for those around you, and even those who may have hurt you before. And your confidence level increase drastically. Trust me, I'm a living proof of that. I wouldn't have been here doing this if my confidence level has not increased since I was spending time with him. So, don't underestimate or don't misunderstand your lonely season that God placed you in this season of your life. It may be tough, it may be so overwhelming that at times you can't focus properly. The voice is just drowning out yours or drowning out God's voice of what he's saying to you. But go through it. Go through it with God. Don't try to go through it on your own. Trust me, it is not going to end up pretty. And I'll close with this, leaving you with this verse. It's from Isaiah 43 and verse 4 from the NLT. Others were given in exchange for you. I traded their lives for yours because you are precious to me, and you are honored, and I love you. So God loves you. That is why he have you in this season of your life of loneliness. So don't waste it. If you are single, spend your time with God. I'm speaking with myself also. Spend your time with God. Because when you get married and get to that stage, brother, sister, it's a whole level of grace that will be needed. But yes, even for those who are married, may God give you the grace that is available. The fact that you are there, it means that he has already equipped you enough. And he's constantly equipping you for the journey that he have you on. God loves you. I love you. And don't forget to love yourself through God's eyes.